Hello, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, today we are in the process of making us some Valentine's Day press ons because Valentine's Day is coming up. And what other way to celebrate it than to make some press ons that's fabulous and glamorous? Let's jump into the content. So, the set that we'll be making today is these here. These will be done with some stiletto false tip nails. I have seen the inspo that was on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not sure, but it was an inspo. I seen it and I wanted to create it. So we are recreating these. Let's jump into our set. So the materials we'll need for our set, we are going to be using a variety of D and D polishes. So the first one will be our top coat, which we will put on top of our nails once everything and the design is finished. We are using our Sunset Suede D&D polish, which is a nude color. This is one of my favorites, so we'll be using this. And then we have our Striking Red D&D gel polish as well. Our tools that we'll be using will be our 9mm art brush, our 23mm art brush, our dotting tool, which we'll use to create our heart, and then I don't necessarily know what this is called, but I guess I just call it a jewelry pickup. I gotta Google that and see exactly what this is called, but I'll be using this just to pick up our rhinestones to apply it to our nail. And then the most important thing we need is our press-ons. So these press-ons, I purchased them off of Amazon. They have a mass variety of them. So look for anything like that. You can go on Amazon and purchase these, but we'll be using stiletto tips today, and this will be considered long. So let's jump into our nail set. So the first thing that I will need to do is pinpoint what nails I want to do nude, because if you guys seen the first example I showed you, two of those nails were solid red. So I think that I'm going to do the pinky finger and the index finger red, and then the rest will be nude for our French tip. So one thing that I do before I start my designs is I blend up my nail polish. I blend it up because I probably haven't used it in a while and it's been sitting. So you want to make sure that the ingredients inside the bottle is all blended so it can distribute on the nail properly. So a way to blend your polish correctly is not shaking it up like how you see people doing all of this and all of that. That creates bubbles in your gel polish. So please do not do that. So what you can do is this. It's just basically rolling it around, making sure that that metal ball that inside your bottle is moving around so it can blend up your polish for you. And once that is done, then you'll be ready to start polishing your nails. So when polishing my nails, I normally do about 2 to 3 coats. And I do that because that first coat is always just the barrier of the nail. And as you guys can see, it's transparent. And I don't want it transparent. I want it to the point to where it's fully nude and the client that's purchasing these nails will not see their nail bed. So we are going to do about 2 to 3 coats on this nail itself, and then you will see the ending result. So I've done 3 coats, and I think I want to do one more, and then we'll be ready to start adding our color design to our nails. All right, here is our 4th coat, and I think I like it. It's definitely not transparent. It's definitely giving nude. So now we are going to apply our red, striking red polish to our two nails that we said we were going to apply it to. And then we are going to use our art palette to create our hearts and add our rhinestones.
I'm ready for us to get to the money now. I know that's right. I know we gonna pay for it. Look, go back to sleep. I'm sorry to wait. It's okay. You need to get some rest. You have an edible to help you sleep. Child, no baby check at the bank. Bro, just every week and all this, I would have edibles down. They drug test? Well, that's fine.
All right, so now we are about to start our French tip. So we're doing a pointy French tip. So basically we're just gonna go from one end of the nail to the other end of the nail, meeting in the middle. And we're just creating a V-shaped French tip. And we're just gonna fill that in, and that's gonna be it. This is normally used for elegant designing when it comes to the French tips, because I know they have a lot of different varieties of them, but I feel this is more of an elegant one versus the ones that you see that's a U shape and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is our French tip, our pointy French tip. We're gonna do a little cleaning up on that side of the nail, but this is what it looks like. We're going to cure this for about 45 minutes. Jesus, not 45 minutes, 45 seconds. And then we can apply our top coat. What did I get 45 minutes from? Jesus. All right, so that is that. Boom. Let's put you under the lighting. All right, you guys, it is time to put on our rhinestones. So we are going to apply them with our rhinestone tool, and I am going to use some smaller ones. We're only going to apply like 4. So I'm going to take them out of the container so we'll have them at easy access. And let's get to it. So we are going to be using a rhinestone gel. I purchased this off of Amazon. It was probably like $8.99, and it works. It does what it needs to do. It is a rhinestone glue that is needed to be set with a UV or LED light. So please, when you purchase this, don't think that it's like nail glue, because it's not. It actually needs to be cured under a light when using it. So the first thing that I am doing is I just apply a small dot full of the glue where I want the rhinestone to go. I use this wax piece here to pick up my rhinestone, as you guys can see, and we're just going to sit it right where I want it. Boom. That is basically it. And you do this as many times that your nail requires any jewelry, anything that cannot be secured with top coat. So normally people use that for any 3D jewelry or anything that you're applying to your nail that has a 2D or 3D effect. So we're just going to apply these rhinestones on, and after we're done doing this, we're going to cure it so it can stay. We do not want this popping off our clients' fingernails. That'll be the worst thing, when you're wearing a press-on set and your jewelry start popping off. So we don't want that. So we got to make sure that it's secured and that it is all ready to go. So this is the last one that we're going to apply to our nail. And then we're going to put this under our LED light for 45 seconds. And then our set is done and ready. Last one, let's cure this. But this is how it looks, and it should look exactly like this when you put it under the light and take it out. All right, here is our nail set that matches the first one that I showed you guys. So now I am going to apply my top coat. That is the last step that I do to seal all of that designing, all of that jewelry, all of that good stuff in. So these are ready to hit the streets and hit their fingers, okay? So we're just applying this top coat. You only need a thin layer because the top coat tends to do what it needs to do. So you just want to make sure that you're not applying too much to where it has a hard time curing under the light. Too much product is too much product. But as you guys always hear me say, a little goes a long way. It does. A little goes a long way. So I am just applying a thin coat of this. And once I apply this, I am going to put it back under the curing light for about 45 seconds. And this is just sealing all of that gel polish in, because if you don't use a top coat, the gel polish that you do use, it does have a curing mechanism in it, but you will have to use alcohol to physically cure the gel polish. So if a person is allergic to gel top coat or anything pertaining to that, you can just cure it with alcohol, and it does the same thing that this is doing. It just probably won't have that glossy look to it. So I saved my rhinestone nail for last because I just want to show you guys how I go through and do it. I actually don't hit my rhinestones with the top coat because you will think that it'll make it shiny, but it gives it like a dull look. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going around them and applying my top coat to the nail itself and the design. And those rhinestones can keep their shine. And then with it being cured with a gel glue, that should be good enough. That should be good enough. So we are gonna let this sit for a second. I like to let my gel polish sit before I cure it, so it can sit and spread out and fill in all the gaps on the nails that it needs to before I cure it. Because once you cure it and you have like a hair or anything in your nail, that actually does play a role in it curing, and it's stuck forever unless you buff it out and all of that good stuff. But these are our nails with our top coat on it, and I am going to put this under the light for 45 seconds. All right, you guys, here is our finished set. What do you guys think? Did I nail this inspo or what? These were a Valentine's Day set that I did make for a client. So yes, they are offered on my Etsy if you guys want to purchase it. But you know what to do. Like, follow, and subscribe. Until next time.